So, we meet again, fake Odin. Valhalla burns around you. Your army is destroyed. And now it is time for you to die. How long have you been there?
What's that? Is that a puppet? Oh, I love puppets.
I make puppets sometimes when I'm...
Frightened.
When the raiding parties go out, I make up stories about their battles.
Because if you make up the right story, then you think it'll keep them safe. And they'll all come home. That's okay. You're not the first person to ever have done that.
Why are you here?
I'm looking for something I'm missing.
Mom and Dad are asleep now. I can get you back on the roof. I know the way.
Shh.
What are you doing?
Take a look at that picture.
Okay.
Now this one. Take a good, long look. Takes a moment to see it.
See what?
Superman and Clark Kent are one and the same person.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Look, I do specs on Superman.
Everyone knows they're the same person.
Well, Lois Lane doesn't. And she's a reporter.
I thought you were the great expert, Doctor. If you're so impressive, then why not just reason with this Dalek? It must be willing to negotiate. There must be something it needs. Everything needs something.
What's the nearest town?
Salt Lake City.
Population?
1 million.
All dead. If the Dalek gets out, it'll murder every living creature. That's all it needs.
But why would it do that?
Because it honestly believes they should die. Human beings are different, and anything different is wrong. It's the ultimate in racial cleansing. And you, Van Statten, you've let it loose!
Now, oh, I see this is one of your business cards. It says so on the front.
Who are you? And what are you doing here?
This. Wakey, wakey!
That is highly valuable equipment. You must have a way now.
We are the intelligence.
Talking snow. I love new things.
You are not of this world.
Takes one to snow one. Right, let's see. Multi-nucleate crystalline organism with the ability to mimic and mirror what it finds. Looks like snow, isn't snow.
You must leave here now.
Shut up, I'm making deductions. It's very exciting.
How much money would it take for you to kill someone? $20. You would kill someone for $20? Yeah, I'd kill a guy for that. You got 20 bucks on you? Of course I do. That's perfect. Who am I killing? I'm not giving you $20 to kill someone. Fine, I'll do it for 10. I'll do 2 for 20. It's not about the money. I'm not asking you to kill anyone. How about 5? What's wrong with you? I just want to kill a guy.
See ya. Don't rub any banks.
Don't rob any banks, what?
Make it ring, girl, make it
Without me.
Make it ring, girl, make it.
Unlikely things to say when running for president.
Silence, worms!
How we doing?
Things couldn't get much worse.
The universe just loves proving me wrong, doesn't it?
You make it too easy.
Unlikely things to say when running for president.
I know the value of family because I sold one of my children to pay for this campaign.
Spider-Man, Spider-Man does whatever a spider can. Yeah, I'm gonna do this, so let's talk about this. So, yes, I'm gonna put my phone up because, one, I need to look at what season and like certain things. But this is really fun. I like the animation. I heard it was cut short. I don't know why, but I did hear that. But I was like, also, I'm not going to switch from this picture. Yes, I know I am talking about season 1, 2, and 3, like The Simpsons, which is another burst of 3 seasons. But I am not going to change it because I'm not really worried about like, oh yeah, here's a different image of it, which shows the other thing, which in my opinion I don't think is great. So I'm not really that worried over it. But overall, it is really good, it is fun, and I do like it. Definitely a lot of things with the seasons, but because it's mostly season, let's get into that. So yeah, I like this because that it brings people with powers. It's really fun in that way. It like develops the powers that they have. I did record this, but the thing was like, by the way, you have 10% left. I'm recording. That is really helpful. But I like it because of that. I do find it entertaining. I do find it really interesting because it has that sort of like, and here are the powers. Here's where we are with the powers. Because like the villains get the power. You get a couple episodes with some of like the like villains and their sort of starting off point throughout and they might come back through a couple of the other episodes. Alongside a couple other... I love this bit because there's a lot of it being experiment this, experiment that. There's a lot of, like... Definitely with, like, stuff like... There's some experiments with this, which I love. For a person with science, this show really looks into science and going wrong. And I love... I mentioned this in the other one, but I haven't mentioned it yet. You have the Norman school, and then you have sort of like the regular school, which is really fun in that sort of regard. Because you have the two schools against each other. And I like throughout the whole thing, it's like... Norman's being like, okay, Spider-Man's a menace. You shouldn't be around Spider-Man, because Spider-Man is this and that. And slowly but surely... It's, you first find it because you get the Jackal, and the Jackal's being like creating this spider army, and he's doing this whole thing, and it's like, oh, Spider-Man's part of the Jackal's army, and then you get Harry, who's also with Norman, against him, and creates the Goblin suit, and his Goblin suit I really love, and you get all of that being like, oh, you should have been better, you should have been this, and it like builds and builds and builds. And I really like that. It's really fun. You also get the Sinister Six. And a lot of like Doc Ock stuff. Because Doc Ock is in Peter's school a sort of like teacher and professor. And then slowly but surely he moves to the other school. And I like it. It builds this dynamic of characters and this. I also love that early on you get Miles. Which... Miles, I'm also going to say, isn't my favourite. Actually, no, Miles is actually, I don't know. I don't know who's more better, Miles or Gwen. So, I don't know. Both of them, you know, so I also like the idea that the Sandman isn't the Sandman. It's, like, the Sandman does exist, but you then have his daughter take over the position. But yeah, it's just really fun of an idea. So let's go into the next season. So yeah, season 2. I want to make sure that, the reason why I'm doing this is because I want to make sure, like, oh, I've got this in the right season, I've got that in the right season. This deals with a really fun idea, one that I've dealt with before, which is basically, Spider-Man has his body swapped with Doc Ock, which makes... the Supreme Spider, and it's one of the most interesting things I've ever heard before, because I've heard the Joker being like, he like takes over the body and then punches. They didn't do a thing because like in the comic, and I don't know too much about the comic, but in the comic supposedly you still have Peter's voice, like a copy of his soul in his head, and I would love that in the actual thing. I know they did it a bit differently. I don't know how they did it in the original, but this is like some techno stuff. I don't know how they did it in the original, but I know Spider-Man technically dies. I also love there's someone being like, oh, Doc Ock is amazing, so I'm gonna like do what he did and like do that. And I love that they're building up these like, they have these one-off villains sort of come in, and you have also like, because the first one had Spider-Gwen and Miles both being like spider people, and then you have one other character have spider powers. It's like, oh, how do I use it? And she still keeps her powers because that season 1 had this whole thing of like everyone turning into spiders, but she was kept through it because she wore suits and like protection things. So she still has the spider powers. Also, I think this season, they bring back, because Gwen loses her powers in the first season and then gains them back in the second season. You also deal with more of Marvel. I think is it in season 1 where we have it? Where we have I think it's season 1 that has it. They have Miss Marvel, who is my favorite character. It's either season 1 or season 2. But I love how like it's like, but at some point it's like Peter gets swapped and then swaps back, and then it's like, oh yeah, by the way, someone just swapped my mind, and Miss Marvel was just like, I knew it wasn't you. Wait, you believe me? Yeah, I'm a Avenger, I deal with this stuff all the time. Yeah, this makes sense. I also love that you get some of a Doc Ock redemption where like he comes back, he gives Peter his body, he does all this helping stuff, and then he sacrifices himself at the end. Because you have this whole thing about him becoming better and him learning about this, and it's really emotional, and I really love it. I also like the idea where like Doc Ock in the Spider-Man thing is like, oh yeah, can you please help me? And then like, oh, of course my daughter. Because it's one time where it's like, yeah, that kind of makes sense because you were kind of not a good person. It's just really fun to think about like, yeah, I'm here to help, I'm here to help. Oh yeah, oh, that is really fun. Next season. Okay. So the next one felt a bit less, but that was mostly because it's kind of on one sort of story, which is basically the Venom. Which basically means the Venom, you have the original Venom come back and do this big thing, and the original head teacher leaves. You get a Venom army come in and sort of like do that. You also have you have the Venom army take over and have all of that stuff. I also like the idea that because the last one is sort of like Norman's father comes back and it's like, oh, that's why we're making this stuff. And then so you have the first bit where you have the original Venom, he somewhat dies. You have a Venom army powered by most of the Avengers that has an amazing story on that. You have then the story about him leaving the school, his identity revealed, and then Gwen, the two other spiders are Gwen and the other spider. Yes, I forgot the name. I'm bad. I'm sorry. It's like, why didn't you tell me? And then Peter's like, oh, I should have told you. And then you have, I know I'm going through my point, but this is just fun because all of these ideas are really interesting. It's like they're wrapping it up. I don't know if this came later on. I also like the idea that one, Harry's dad survives and they do this one big final thing of like, yeah. It's really fun because I think season 2 had, at the end, it had the Goblin army, which they thought was his dad, but it wasn't his dad. And I also like the idea that it, sort of, one of the things that they talk about in this, near the beginning, or season 1, is like, there's like this Avengers thing to build people up to be an Avenger. And there's like, yeah, to be in the thing, you need to like, it trains you up to be a hero. It's like, yeah, so why am I one? It's like, kid, you're already a hero. You don't. It's like, this course trains me to be a hero. You've got that. You've been the hero. So you don't need the course. But I love it. It is a fun show. And yeah. So yeah, this is a bit long because I'm talking about multiple seasons. And I love all of them. It's really fun. It's really awesome. And it's 100%. I would recommend. This is so fun to watch. It's on, I don't know where, it's on, besides Disney Plus, I don't know where else, but yeah. Yeah, watch it. I think it's on Disney Plus, but besides the point, I hope you enjoy, like, and comment. See, what do you think about this? Good night, though. I want to confirm with this. When you mean don't use the super and use the Hadouken, you mean with smaller attacks. Which I think, if you use the pea shooter, it looks like a Hadouken. Is that what you mean? Just to confirm? Because I don't think I've got that set up there. I think I've got the aiming one, which gives me a barrier around myself, and the roundabout, which gives a thing that sort of goes around me. Just to confirm. Just want to confirm that before I think about it. To confirm. Oh, I love that this. I don't know if I can use this remote code. I might need to get like a better weapon. custom scenarios, local file. Test 2. Right. Okay, so we're just going to try. Okay, this is good. Okay. I was like, okay, I'm getting too many points. These are a problem because I shouldn't be able to get number 3.
Dad catches you with your boyfriend or girlfriend and you're not allowed to date. Your 5th emoji is your reaction. Comment that. This is mine.
And yeah, I got 2 from the same sort of series. Look at this. A Jinx one. Okay, I'm actually in the middle of this. I don't know why. This is so cool. I love this because you can, one, it's textured. So it's really cool and really amazing. You also get this. I love this, but again, magnetic, so much fun, so interesting. Is what you also have some wipes, which I'll just keep them there. But again, it looks cool. You also can put it on safely. It's so big, but then again, it's a poster. It makes sense for it being big. So yeah, this is really cool, and I really like this. And overall, I just really enjoy it. Obviously, this won't be able to get the perfectness that I would prefer to get. Luckily, I can like do 3 parries of this, and I can get the parries done. That's the one good thing. I don't need to worry about parryness. Oh, this is good. Oh, this weapon I really love. It's like, I think, one of the best weapons. It's like a completely spammable. Oh, that's... Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna get into this one because I think I might use candy corn. Yeah, still the same problem. This is getting too much time and I have a problem. Okay, so with that being said, why am I doing that? Click the main menu, go there, back, exit the game. Okay, load scenario, test 1. Fail.
Here's a little detail in Encanto that I just realized, so spoilers if you haven't seen it. So we all
I
know
will
that
see it.
Mirabel is like
It's a
the
great film.
outcast of her extraordinary family, right?
Yep.
Well, the movie emphasizes this during the song The Family Madrigal, where most of the characters are doing a dance in unison, but Mirabel is doing something completely different. If you look at her sisters and cousins, you'll notice that they all do a spin followed by a sort of cha-cha. Mirabel, however, is the only one out of step. In fact, I think she actually does it backward. Look at Isabel. She does the spin, goes into the cha-cha real smooth. While Mirabel next to her goes into the cha-cha real smooth, and then hits the spin. It's a small and subtle way to show that Mirabel is different from her family and more than just the power
I didn't see
department.
this. I said I was gonna be back, and I'm back. I love that you don't really see much of this anymore. I'm just switching straight into here, and I love it. Also, for the one other thing, I think I might be out of these, but I wanted to do thoughts and announcements, but I didn't want to actually make thoughts and announcements, so I've been using the making, which might have 2 more things also for tomorrow. It means I get like some things I could talk about, make announcements for. Then I created videos, but I still had more to talk about, but I wanted to make some sounds because I wanted to not have that stuff. So I've been still using these. Yay! Priorities. Also, I got these 2. My Secret Santa. I don't know if anyone else does Secret Santa. These are cool. Again, plus 1 hat that I got on holiday and 1 sort of like setup. I don't have much else, but these are so cool. They're so nice and so awesome, and I like them. That's it. All my rhymes, and we're back here. You have failed to perish 110 times, which is a lot less throughout the series, but I don't think got rebooted. So we're going to go back to this. Yay.
Okay. Chord position doesn't matter. And then
Take this, take this, take this, take this.
All right, that's good enough for today, Ted. We've got everything we need.
Take this, take this, take this.
Hello. Ooh, I was about to be like, ooh, ooh. Also, I just realized I clicked start, then I was like, hello, and then I was like, oh no, the mic's not on, and then it is. So yeah, here's the first thing. Also, it says, why are you serious? Because I think it'll be backwards. Because I have this deliberately flipped. So if because I have the camera, where's the camera? Where's the camera? I have it deliberately flipped, but I'm not going to flip it back the other way around. Why so serious is one of these hats I like really cool. Also, it's like fully metal. It's one of the coolest things. I don't know why. It's just for like having something cool and having like this metal. And I like why so serious as a metal thing. Yeah, it's really cool. That's really it. I just like this hat. Again, I'm just making these because I've got a couple of things that I want to introduce. And yeah, when I come back, I'll bring it up later. But yeah, this is cool. Yeah, I get it. Some people deserve prison. Aren't anyone voted down? It's like, aren't some people, like, sometimes worth having a second chance? Did you not say that? Very brutal.
this is gonna be like a whole section of like me being like, the numbers change, the numbers change, number change.
I like you. Have a cupcake.
Good
I
character.
like you. Have a cupcake.
Ooh. Yep. Nope. With Vic.
I
Nope.
like you. Have a cupcake.
Yep. So be back here real quick. So I'm just gonna wait. pajamas, sue me. I'm getting some like stuff. So I've got like some nice napkins. Ooh, a nice bowl. It looks really nice if you look. Some plates. Some more plates. So I'm about to have people doing it. Oh, come on in, come on in. I also have 2 of these, which are like placemats. But yeah, it's like really fun. Because they're really cool and really interesting. Again, these are just for fun because, well, not for fun. These videos are. Oh, I love this. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I love this. Because he is right, because he was trapped in a coin. That's absolutely messed up. It's like, oh, how long until you shipped into the Oath People's Home? It's like,
Bet you $1 I can win this game before you can like, comment, and share. Ready? Go. Did I win?
and now I go. I vanished! Or have I? Yeah, I know that was a bit of a weird one. I fully admit that. But this. I don't know canonically if it's connected. Because there is another Disney sort of like Gooseworks sort of like series that does this sort of like... sort of like more having a sort of like slight adult... Not adult, but like slight creepy... That was another one that was just called Goosebumps. I don't know what it was called. I'll go and check it. But it was with sort of like more countryside. I feel like there's one character that might be in it, but it might be one of those things where it's just an actor. Or am I just mistaken and they're different actors? I wouldn't be surprised. I sometimes forget. I sometimes think, oh, you do the same. Which is the householder, which is basically the plant guy in this one. And the writer of that one. That's probably a huge clue that they're different people. It probably is, in my opinion, that they're different. But I'm just going to say that I watched it and I liked it. Hence why I wanted to watch it. I saw this and I'm like, yes. It was on they're doing a thing where it's like, oh, coming soon. And it's like, Valentine, I'm like, I want to watch this. This is awesome. It's just one of those things that, like, this is something really creepy. Like, stories. Yeah, it's just called Goosebumps. I don't think... Oh, no, it is a different actor. Yeah, it definitely isn't the same person. But yeah, Goosebumps, and then this exists. Also, the one thing I found hilarious is there's been an advert series with Uber where they've been like, oh, you have to remember one thing to forget another. And the reason why I came across it is Keith from Smosh is in it. And it's a whole ad of, like, herald ads that Smosh cast were in. And it's really fun to look. But yeah, that exists. That video exists of like him forgetting how to sit down. But he's in it, and there's a whole scene of like him with Jennifer, and it's like, oh yeah, you know me, right? It's like oh, I haven't forgotten 10 years of my life. It's like, yeah, what series have I been into? And then I was like, oh yeah, Friends. He was Ross. I'm like, what? How did I forget? Probably because I did not watch the show, but all I know is, so no one told you life was gonna be this way. Even that was offbeat. I know that because everyone knows that. That's sort of like a thing that like people will know of sorts, and it is out there and it exists. So yeah, that I do know is a thing. I do get that's a thing, and it is a pretty big thing. But it is just a thing that exists in the world. And besides now thinking of this actor more with Goosebumps with this, because I was an idiot and thought two actors were the same, but that's besides the point. He's really good at this. And definitely you have these sort of like moments. And this is a not spoiler thing, but one of the major things that this has is communication problems. Not the series. The series communicates once, but they don't talk to each other at all, which gets very confusing very quickly. Like, who knows? Not for you, but for the characters. You get, because you kind of like, oh, I haven't told this to this, but it gets like very like, oh, what do I do because this is happening, but I don't know if this is happening. So it's like a lot happens, and you're trying to figure out what is going on. And obviously, one of the more important things is this has a lot of like moments where I'm like, wait a second, what the f is going on? And some of them were to do with the plants. And I've mentioned this in a couple of streams while I was watching this, while the streams are happening. There was one moment where the plant was in his arm. I'm like, no. It's like, no, that is just terrifying, of like something growing in your arm. Like, someone told me of like, there's another series that has it where like someone's face got stung and like bees crawled out of them. Like, oh, that's horrifying. Some of these things that they have are horrifying. Also, I love the idea because it wasn't in, I don't think, the first Goosebumps. I don't think. The first Goosebumps series. But this does the sort of like, because I didn't know how it, because I know of some Goosebumps. I know Slappy, I know this, I know that. Because I've heard the stories, plus there was the whole movie with Jack Black that existed, which I do like. And I watched that, and you see a couple of the different characters. I'm like, are they going to include the car? Because that's the thing, the haunted car that like is in a Goosebumps book. I don't know which one exactly. Again, I know it exists, but I don't know what book it in. But I was like, how they did it in this, I like. Because it has this sort of like one person's, really long spoiler, one person dies, gets replaced, and then takes one person away to like this car mechanic place where he gets smashed in. So like the car is on, it's because if you know a car repair place, the car gets holded up, the things go down and he gets smashed by it. But you realise he gets absorbed into the car. Trust me, there are more way of things. And he becomes part of the car, which is terrifying. Those sort of things, alongside, what was the other one? People got taken years ago, they found them, brought them back and sort of healed them. And again, sort of spoilers, all of this is spoilers, but they turn into bug people. I don't know how you describe it. A lot of the imagery is very creepy and weird. Especially like, because at the end of this, you realise this is going to happen to all of them, and you realise 2 other people were turned into these sort of things. You had sort of the Ross actor, yes, I remembered his name. Also, what is his actual name? Let me just... Friends Ross actor. David's character turns into that as well. It has a really creepy scene where his head melts. Terrifying. And you also have the neighbor character who, let me just see, do a bit of going around. Yeah, that's Jason Long. David was in it as Anthony, but I don't know who Anthony was in the original Goosebumps of 2023. Anyway. Shoot, I don't know his name, I just know him as... he sort of, is it? I think it's, I'm not going to try and pronounce it because I'm definitely going to mispronounce it. He had the thing, like I said, he was taken over, duplicated, etc., etc., etc. And they said what happened to them was because they got in the cocoon. And it's like, will it happen to them? Will they be dead? Will they might die? I don't know. You also have another scene, again, which isn't for the next season, because I am excited for next season, because what's going to happen? What's going on? Yeah. It's just one of those things where it's like, I don't know. Oh yeah, CJ. I don't know what's going on. And definitely during one of the scenes where it's like, it's fake. And like, it's like, she's not real. And learning that like, she might not be real. What's going on with her. This mysterious person. Is so terrifying. So fun, but so terrifying at the same time. It's like, what's going on? What is this? But it's fun. Yeah, it's very a weird show, but yeah. I think this is really interesting. And where this is going could go anywhere. In a fun way. But I would want to know where. It's fun. It's exciting. I definitely 100% recommend for you to watch this show. So yeah. And yes, I am going to do 950 because that means I don't need to change the thing. Yay! For laziness. But yeah, hope you like, join, and subscribe. Actually, yeah, I'm going to do it after 1 minute. 1 minute. I've had an experience. I've talked before, but I've accidentally rambled a bit and I got a bit weird. But TikTok, I knew TikTok was going to be banned on the 19th, like I said, but I'm just saying it. Don't worry about it for the clip. Anyway. But I heard literally a couple hours later, it got unbanned. And it's been the weirdest thing. Like, what's going on? What are you in America doing? Why? This is stupid. Why does this make any sense to you? I know there's like rumors about like TikTok was originally attempted to be banned because of X, Y, and Z. There was like political reasons. I don't know. I don't really get it. It sounds stupid. Fully. But if you want to, but it's back, which is stupid. I don't know. Oh, it's so close. Was it so close? Actually, it was nowhere close. Yeah, I love this. Yeah. 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 Because they don't... This person suffered enough. They were trapped in a coin. Yeah, I love this. I love it in this old episode, because this happens before, like, season 1. There's,
you can see Sideshow Bob working for Krusty, because like canonically he should be working for Krusty at first. Okay. Okay, so no Z's. Mind.
John! Oh, teaching me a magic trick.
I got you. I'm about to teach you can take 2 straws and magically make it go right through each other.
What?
To do this is actually really easy. All you need is a piece of double stick tape, put it on your thumb, and you literally just stick the straw onto your thumb like so. And literally all you're gonna do is as you move it through, you're just gonna open your hand a little bit and let it through like so.
Sean, teach me a magic trick.
I got you. I'm about to teach you can take a jar and a coin and magically put it right through, just like that.
What?
To do this is actually really easy. All you need to do is put some double stick tape on the cap, take a second penny, put it in, and what you're gonna do is you're gonna pretend to put it through, but you're just gonna tap the coin to come down.
Sean, teach me a magic trick.
I got you. I'm about to teach you can take a picture of a water bottle and literally pour water.
What?
To do this, it's actually really easy. All you wanna do is hide a full glass of water behind the phone, and then you simply just pour it.
So, if you look to the left here, you will see a nice house. Sadly, the house is being destroyed. So yeah, that's a weird introduction, but I'm gonna roll with it. Let's go! Why is it not moving? Oh, it is moving. Yeah, it is moving, never mind. This is good. It's really funny and really entertaining. The animation looks good, the voice acting is good, but this is just fun. It's entertaining, I like it. There's not much to it, which I like. I like the idea that it's just basically, you're looking for like different scenarios. Do I build a house? Do I create a house? Also, this might be a bit longer. Not longer than 10 minutes, but a bit longer than like 3 minutes. Should I build a house? Should I do this? Should I do that? What should I do? How should I get started? How should I build this? How should I like get a house? Should I buy one, build one? With a child, what's going to be should I be part of like this like land, which I'm guessing is like similar things like flats, which is really funny. I like all the different ideas, and overall, it's just really a fun idea overall. So yeah, the one thing which I like is because with this image, it looks like there's going to be like, oh, here's the dragon, here's the little bird, and then you get this person here, but she's in it for like two episodes, like the. So, like, 10, 11, 12, like, the 3 episodes near the end, which is not a lot. I thought she would be in it for more, because she's in the intro, and she's not. I don't know why that is. But the one other thing which I like is the constant changing of, like, this big, ferocious dragon, and then you just get this, dragon, which is, like, really funny and really hilarious. Whereas, like, in reality, he's not harmless, he's not dangerous, but everyone's like, this big, deadly dragon, and it's like, it's fun. I think that's a fun idea. I also like the idea that, like, at the end it's like, and then this happens. It's like, you rewrote, what's going on? It's like, that's how it actually happened. It's like, creative. It's just funny. If you know episode 12, in the end, it's, like, really funny. That was, like, in the ending, they wrote a different one, which is funny. But, yeah. Also, there's a whole conversation about selling and buying a house, and as a person going through that, not me, myself, my mum, every time she talks about it, it's like, well... But yeah, I like this, I enjoy this, I find this really hilarious, and I recommend for you to watch this. It's just a really fun, sort of like, comedy show. But yeah, this is a shorter one, this will be a short, but because... there's not much to talk about, and sometimes I like doing a shorter one. So yeah, hope you enjoyed, and good night.
I love this. I think I might need a different weapon, but I can't get any more coins currently, so the only method would be to improve this. Enough that I can actually do something with it. Okay. Luckily, I like this one at stage 2 because stage 2 doesn't end too low of you. Okay. I'm not gonna guess I'm gonna come out of it with free line.
Oh.
Okay, so yeah. That's what happened, that's sort of the story there. That will be what sort of happened. It's really funny. It's really exciting, that's sort of like the idea. So yeah. And then good night.
Okay, so
So, I've got a couple of things I'm making clips out of, like making this and making that and making the other, etc., etc. Again, the next week, for the next like 5 days, is going to be clip for 5 days because Friday's going back to 5, and Sundays will be 10. So Sunday will be the first one. I'm still going to do it because I've got a couple of things I want to talk about. But the one thing I've just had, we've got this thing where you get like your fishes, where you get like some stuff in your teeth. It makes it safer. And it feels really weird to bite. Really grainy. I don't know why. It just feels weird here. And it was the most weird experience because it's like the first time I've ever had like the full dentist, like cotton wool in your mouth, putting it all in, doing all of that stuff. It's the first time I've ever had that. It's weird. It's not really that major, but it's just the weirdest thing I've ever had. That's really it.
wait. What's that sound over there? Oh no. I'm in trouble. So yeah. I'm reviewing Aliens, and for the next couple of reviews, it's gonna be a mix between Alien anime. There's a little bit of a difference, but obviously, if you don't know, but like Skeleton Crew, Link Click Season 1, Aliens, Link Click Season 2, Predator, Wicked, Yakuza, Dawn Season 2. Because one of the series end, and Predator 2. And then I'm going to review, I think, Missing, because I don't think I reviewed that. I'm going to say, because I'm going to watch it anyway. If I don't, I would just go to a season, because it's a season, and then I'll go back to Predator. I think the next one would be, because I'm going by release order, which is Alien 3, so that I can do Alien vs. Predator and still understand where the story's been for the first two Aliens and Predators. But that's not important, that's future stuff that I'm doing. And yeah, I've got the whole spreadsheet of like Aliens 1992, 1997, and put them all in chronological order. So yeah. I've also put it after Aliens vs. Predators, because I don't think they come back. Because you have Predators, Prometheus, which is an Aliens film, Alien Covenant, which is an Aliens, and then you have The Predator, and then you have Prey. But those two films I don't think are connected to any of the others. And Prey is absolutely not connected, because that's besides the point. I am talking about a different series. Anyway, so what did I know about Alien? Because if I look at it correctly, just give me a sec. Alien came out in 1979, which you can probably tell I wasn't alive back then. So I haven't watched the film until like a couple of weeks ago. What do I know? One, that Alien 1 and Alien 2 are a bit different films. I knew one was more suspenseful and one was more action, but I didn't know by how much. And I'll talk about that more in number 2, because jeez, they're both good for different reasons, but wow, I was surprised how different. And number 2, I know what the Alien is. I'm not going to mention it here, because again, I haven't seen the trailer, so I don't know if the Alien is mentioned. So I'm actually, no, you see it here, so that's kind of a spoiler, but I'm fine with that, but I'm not going to talk about it too much. You kind of see it, I kind of realize, oh shoot, this trailer and these trailers all have it. It kind of doesn't look like they promote it. So I'm not going to talk about it. I'm still going to have this here. I might cover it up. I don't. I doubt it. But that's what I knew. And when I watched it, it was so weird. Because this is not bad. This is not bad. But it's a 1 hour 30 movie, which is a lot shorter compared to like nowadays, where you're getting like movies are like what, like 3-5 hours long, and are like, oh, there's this and there's that and then there's the other. You're having different, like, I think there's like this 2-hour films, and like definitely with YouTube nowadays, these videos are like way over. I watched Law Dump, which is like way over 2 hours. So like having like a 1 hour film is nice. I don't know why. Just weird having like a small 1 hour experience. I think is an odd. It's not bad. It's not bad. Let me emphasize, it's not bad, but it feels weird. But that's more, films have become more, having an hour film is a bit of a, it's like, that's a short film. But like nowadays, it's like you expect like the film to be like 2.5 hours to 3 hours. I mean, you're even like on the short end, 2 hours. Again, not bad, but it feels slow. Again, not bad for what is going for it. If it was either longer or quicker, I would say that's bad. But the way it does it, it draws it out. It turns fully into this, like, what's going on? Because the first couple of minutes is like, by the way, we're looking at his fingers, like, you see like something's off, but you don't know what. But yeah, I'm going to leave that. I'm not going to re-record because, one, I don't feel like it. But I'm going to talk about it. And you can kind of tell spaceships are going to be somewhat involved. Yeah, I know I'm somewhat spoiling myself, but I'm just going to leave it there. So yeah, like I said, you get the sort of thing with the ship. You see it, you have it, and then when you slowly go in, and I think it's 30 minutes, and it feels long. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but it feels long. Like I said, it's slow, but it's slow but meaningful. It's like what it feels like, definitely nearer like the 30 minutes when you're getting into like the when you're getting the like the actual main stuff. It feels like walking on ice. Do you have that feeling? That you don't want to walk too quickly, but every single step that you take feels like I'm going to step forward, and then all of a sudden, boom, I'm going to get jump scared, and that's sort of like falling through the ice sort of way. Is that sort of intensity, and like for 1 hour and 30 minutes, this was really good. I loved this. The idea of the suspense, the idea, and when you're slowly building up to like the actual, like, it's going down, it's like, you still are like, what the fuck? sort of energy. Because like when you have a suspenseful thing and then theorize, oh, what is it doing? What is this? What is that? It has this sort of like creepy nature to it. And I feel like with this, you still get that. You still figure out like, even after like, oh, we know what it's doing, you still have that moment of like, well, do we? Do we? It's like, yeah, we kind of, but I still don't trust it. It's still like, it's still like, we know what it's doing, yet it still feels like it can be anything. It still feels that eeriness. We still know like, oh, the alien's doing this, or the alien's going through the air ducts, the alien's doing this. It still feels that intense of like, it can do anything. Dun, dun, dun. But again, it is really, I just really love it because of that. And I definitely like the cast. I also, which is weird enough, the other spoiler is one of the castmates. It's sort of like this symbiote, which is like a robot in the way in the universe. And I knew that symbiotes existed, but when it's like, oh yeah, there's one person who's a symbiote, and there's one person like, is he? He looks a bit human, and like I was like going back and forth, like, is he? Is he not? I don't know. And then you see his head come off. I'm like, what the fuck? And then you see a moment earlier where you activate it, and it's just him. Like, okay, then. I can theorize for days for how that is done. No clue actually how it's done. That is terrifying. That's like, what is going on? What is happening? What is this? But yeah, I do think it's really good. I do think it's really fun. And I do think it's really enjoyable. And that's why I think I absolutely like this. So yeah. I do think this is something worth watching. And yeah, I am going to be honest. I watched this because I heard so much about it and I wanted to do it. Also, there's a new Alien movie coming out, which is Alien Romulus, which I'm like, oh, okay, that looks really interesting, but I feel like I want to learn about the alien history and the alien history, and we all know and love the real history. But I just wanted to know about the other movies. That's really it. But yeah. I hope you like this video. There's going to be more, like I said. But yeah, I hope you like and I hope you enjoy. And good night. I'm supposed to do this, but I'm not because I said yesterday. Oh, my lights went out, but I'll just fix that later. Is that in the sort of like teeth? I put like some like sealant fillant, but it fell out, so I'm getting it redone on Thursday. That's annoying. I don't know why it fell out. I'm getting anxious because like they're like, don't worry, it'll be fine. Most likely it's fine. I don't know what went wrong. Like, I'm not blaming them because it's definitely not them. I probably did something. I don't know what I did, but I don't know what I did, but I did. I don't know. But yeah, that is one of the things that I feel like is interesting. But that's one thing that happened, and I don't know why. I don't know. It happened, and I'm going to move the thing that I was planning to do today, tomorrow. I don't know. That's the plan. And yes.
Are you kidding me? I think I need to change tactics. Exit to map. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. now let's go. We're opening.
Okay, so apparently there's this filter that gives you an accurate nickname based on how you look. Yeah, as if I'm gonna believe that.
Okay, what's my nickname? Let's see.
So, your crew is what again? Got it. So yeah, this show that exists. I heard about it in like Skeleton Crew, and legitimately I thought it was going to be something different. Because I thought it was going to be like, okay, we have, like... Because I didn't hear much about it besides Skeleton Crew. And I heard the idea of what Skeleton Crew means, being a small crew. And I thought it was a series on, like, sort of like, by the way, we have this ship that we're sort of, like, driving around. Maybe, like, doing deliveries, maybe doing this. And technically, we need, like, what would make it really efficient would be, like, 10 people who are here doing stuff. But nope. This show's good. It's really entertaining. I don't have much to talk about it because I don't know. It's not going to be a short. It's not going to be 3 minutes. It's not going to be a full 10. It's fun. It's entertaining. And besides a couple of things which I'm going to say spoilers, besides one, there's a robot. And his whole design looked awesome. Definitely the moments where you have like this, it's like a robot that's not really working, so it's a little bit broken, and you see like something pop out of the eye. I'm like, oh, it doesn't feel like the same way that you might see like gore with humans and that happening, but it just goes, why is that there? But yeah, let's move on. So I like the fact that it builds up this, like, what's happening, what's going on. And overall, it stops and ends all of it. And I like the idea that you have a sort of Jedi who I don't know was trained or anything, or, like, even half-trained. Later on be, like, turn into a villain. Turn into the bad guy. And I know there's one in the series that was cancelled because I know a lot of people didn't like it, but that's besides the point. The one thing I do like about this is he's here. He does his, like, looks like a Jedi. When you learn more about him, he's like, who are you? And what do you want? And it becomes more and more creepier. And it's like, okay, I don't trust you. And you learn more about that. And every time, I'm ignoring about the time because I want to talk about a couple other things that you learn is so interesting. I also love that one of the characters has sort of like cybernetic enhancements in a way. Definitely with like the visor and like some things. But the one thing I like more specifically, rather than, by the way, this looks cool, and I feel like this is the first time that you have, besides one like nearly robot-looking cyborg, I don't think there's many main like characters. I don't know if there's like one off the side or maybe one thing, but there's not many main people who are sort of like cybernetic. But I like the whole thing about like, oh, I can't do sometimes things because like some things mess up with like her things in my head, and it's like sometimes I can't do things that everyone else can do. And I like that. I also like the idea that immediately when the kids come back, it's like no one trusts them because you just left, and from their perspective, it's like, oh, I'm an ambassador. Oh, this person can be trusted. Lead the way. I can show you where we need to go. And I like it. But I think it's a really interesting show. So yeah, I think it's interesting. I like the dynamics. And weirdly enough, a lot of people are going to be like, oh, what about like these are, you can have sort of like children. Do you get like them being like, oh, these are like child. They are really good actors. But I do think this is worth watching. So yeah, I hope you enjoy and good night. Hello, we're doing this. So if you look here, I'm going to do a 1 minute one because I want to talk about it. It's mostly going to be focusing on, if you see the big video, the clip is mostly going to be focusing on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, because that would be like an easy thing to clip. And I don't, for anyone watching the clip, the other side just says Monday, Tuesday, but when you can see Thursday, it's just as free, but it's basically what the Thursday says. This is my first time on Friday being like late, because usually I'm like 5. But I'm doing Friday as well for the sort of like late. I'm also doing Cuphead on Friday, because I feel like then I can go into the next day and be like, I'm gonna be up a bit later. Who cares? Don't need to worry about it too much. It's just gonna happen. I'm fine with it. And it'll be more like, yeah, sure, it's a thing. But yeah, that's sort of a clip. Here's the new update look.
You can, I can't do this. This is so hard. Also, all of a sudden created episodes for the future. Okay. Yeah. They just be responding to those. Okay. Okay. Oh wait, no. Yeah, it's just this I've been working on. Okay, which is more colors. That goes in there. That goes in there. Also, insanity.
I could hear you.
Gregory, you won't die. Staff only.
So yeah, the past is now the present, and I am confused. So yeah, this series was this. I was like, okay, I'm gonna watch it because this looks weird. Weird in the best way. I'm like, why is 8 o'clock? Why are 3 people looking away from it? I don't know. But when I saw it and saw what it was about, I was like, okay, this is interesting. I don't know what this is, but this is interesting. I would like to know what this is. See, like, what this is about, and, like, what, in general, I'm not repeating myself. But it's the general idea of, like, I would like to know what, like, I'm looking at, because this looks interesting. And I like the whole mechanic of it. If I'm correct. Yeah. About being like jumping into the past through photos, I think is interesting. And overall, like a fun idea. I also like the idea, because this is like this thing where like if you have... actually, I will leave that later. But like I like the idea of like my sort of powers is really interesting, and learning development and learning how like hard it is really interesting overall. Definitely through some of the stories I find really fun and sad and depressing, because it's like you can't change the past always, and I really like that. The one thing I also do like about this is I watched season 1 not knowing that this is season 2. So I was caught off guard where season 2 ended. 1, this guy gets shot, and 2, they finally say like, oh, by the way, there's this villain, because there's this person who was in like the first episode and then brought back later, and then she dies out of her control, and it's so effed up how they do it, because from the outside perspective it's so miserable, and it's like, but in reality it is so much more. It is so traumatic, and like, what is this? I'm not going to talk about season 2, but it's so effed up what they do. But yeah, it is really dark, but most of the points I want to talk about are in season 2. This just looks like a detective stuff, and it's really good for that, and it's not as dark until like the end bit, but I really do like this. So I hope you enjoyed, and good night.
Take this, take this, take this, take this.
All right, that's good enough for today, Ted. We've got everything we need.
Take this, take this, take this.
You can stand aside now. We understand exactly what's needed here.
Can you repair?
Yes.
Got identification?
Very good, Yasmin Khan. Does the doctor know you're out this late by yourself?
I don't think we've met before.
Such linear creatures. And that message in pen on the palm of your hand that no one knows about. WWTDD. What would the doctor do?
How could you know that?
How does she choose you? Any of you? So unremarkable.
Take your hands off me right now.
Quick! Professor Song, has the food disappointed you? As I was saying, Your Majesty, if it's new head you're after, this is the guide to the very best.
Don't touch that. Give that back to me.
The Diary of River Song, the ultimate guide to the Time Lord known as the Doctor.
Don't you dare touch that!
Long live the king.
It's like to save your posterior, when in reality it probably is to save your life. It's like to save your posterior, when really to save your ass. Okay. Someone does movie. Okay, through all your battles and all your rhymes, you have failed and perished 139 times. Yeah. Okay, so save scenario. Okay, inputs in. Ability. Shit. So I hear we're in trouble. I hear we could die. I'm gonna do this first because this is easier. Because one, this allows you to see the trees, because that's fun. I'm gonna put requirements and all that stuff so you don't get immediate access to everything.
Intro stuff. Wrong thing. Woo. I don't know how I did this, but because it's gonna come up later, I'm gonna do it. Someone recommended me to get some of the Moriarty books. So I did. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 was held back a bit, which is why it's coming later. 6 and 7. This is sort of my Christmas thing. Someone recommended me to get it because it was like really interesting. Also, again, it is a bit backwards. And also, technically I might do a specific thing. There's a place near me where you can do a book sale. I got 7 twice by accident. But sure, I've got 2 7s. I think it's because of like a deal. No, it probably isn't. Anyway.
Unlikely things to say when running for president.
Yes, we can. Lock her up. Drain the swamp. Hands face space. Oh my God. I can't stop. Speaking in threes. Someone please help.
So yeah. Oh no. There's more. So yeah. I've said this a while. It was like really a while. But like, I think 2 days ago? I don't know. Let me just check. I don't know why I'm looking at this because this is the YouTube thing and it doesn't probably tell me when it was uploaded. Besides the thing, it's on my phone, but not on YouTube, that's the thing. But it's one of the things I find really interesting because, again, I wanted to start watching Aliens because overall, I thought I'm going to look into the sort of like, I want to look at this new Alien thing, and I wanted to watch some of the old Aliens. So I was like, okay, I'm going to watch some of the old ones, see what they're like, see what's in them, and then talk about them. Say what I thought I liked about it, what I didn't like about it, what I thought was like good or bad. So I did. And I did know a bit about that the first one was a bit different. And I have seen one scene. I'm not going to talk about it right now because, again, if I'm talking about one specific scene, that is definitely spoilers in full. But overall, I thought this was really good. How it started, how it sort of built, because with the first one, you don't know it's an alien. And I will say xenomorph now, because, again, it's one of the things, if I watch a sequel to something, recommendation, the first one exists. So I wouldn't, that's one thing which I don't get when some people watch a sequel and then watch a review of a sequel, and it's like, oh, you spent time in the first one. Shouldn't you go watch the first one? Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just confused. Maybe I'm an idiot. Fully valid options. But, you know that these exist. Also, I don't know if they name it in this. But it's really intense in this. Which is what I like. The intensity of like, ooh, what's here? What is going on here? And I love it because of that. It's so fun, so intense with all of this. And you slowly get the action. And when you get the action, there's one scene, again, talking to you later, that's like, yeah, 3 days ago. 3 days ago, there's one scene where I was like, what? And throughout the movie, it really puts the pedal to the metal. So yeah, why don't we talk about those scenes? So yeah, a couple of the scenes I think are good in this is, one, when you see it, you get two things to be like how much bad they are. and that is some people having the ammunition. And I love the scene when they're like, wait, we're above a nuclear reactor, and the bullets could set them off. I'm like, great. And absolutely think this is interesting. And when they actually fight it, which is a bit later, jeez, what they do is so intense. And I love at the beginning, it's like no one believes her. And then when you slowly have these people die one by one, it's like people, like not even one by one, literally one by one. Well, when you see them die, you see the rest of them being like, this is real. And actually start like being like, we actually need to deal with this. And some of the stuff in there about like, in the end, you realize that the whole plan was to kill all of them and have the one scientist have two of them have the facehuggers get the aliens out of them and sort of use them as a biological weapon, which there's an entire army that you are literally sacrificing because it's like, we can sacrifice them, they can die. It's like, are you fucking kidding me? These are human lives here. Right, you are like putting on the like, by the way, I don't care if you die. It's like, are you kidding me? This is literally horror when you see them boom, boom. And then when he dies, it's so satisfying. It's like, I also like, even if the Synthozoid does die in this, because in the first one, the Synthozoid was bad. And I didn't know they were going to do the same thing again, but they didn't. He actually, like, saved the day, and you have his moment of, like, oh, is he? But he didn't. And I find that so interesting. In that, like, I like that also that this builds. This does what I think a sequel does. And I think I think, like, some people like Straw Hat Goofy and some other people have said, like, this sort of, like, I think it was Straw Hat Goofy? I don't know. I forget people. I forget. I don't even remember the exact scene, but I've heard, like, so many people talk about, like, this is how you do a sequel. Where it's not one alien, it's aliens. It's more of what the last one had, bigger and more louder. I also heard, and I have said this in the first one, that this is different, which is what I did know, about the first one, which you can tell this is far more action than it was. Also, I think I've said this in one of the streams, that someone told me, because I know who told me, there was someone doing the thing where it's like taking a scene, and it's a scene where like they first walk in to like the science area, and then it's one of the things where one person like holds sort of a gun, and the director said, oh, that was a Steadicam. And I was like, that's clever, no one knows what a Steadicam is. So like, you'd be like, oh, this is a thing. And then we're like, oh yeah, that's a thing. Like, people will be like, oh yeah, that makes sense. That's a part of the world, and that exists. So I like it just because of how, like, they just like, and here it is. And here's the gun we have. Because I don't know how many people know what a sort of like Steadicam is. I don't know. It's really interesting. Again, also, the other scene which I did know about, because I have seen it before, is the very end. Which is basically, she holds up this gun with a flamethrower, and the simple reaction that she has, and is set up, is the Queen Alien looks at her, she looks up, you see two xenomorphs, just like, I think like the shadow of them just go, and from the other side, and then you have her go, point the flamethrower up, sets it up just a little bit, like I think it was like less than like 3 seconds, and then just hold it at the edge. And then the queen sort of does this gesture with her arms, and then the creatures down here go back, and then the other side back. And I like that. No words spoken, no less than like a couple of seconds, but so clear of the idea of like, I'm in danger. That's what I mean. I will burn this place to the ground. And then it's like, okay, I'm also in danger, because both of them are having their instincts like tested. I don't know who said it. A lot of videos I forget, but I do remember that. Again, not what I said, but so many people have talked about that scene and how it's like a motherly instinct thing, and it's really interesting. And the last thing I will say is I do know the thing about Aliens 3. I watched Tower Critic review it, and that is effed up. But I'll talk about that in Aliens 3, because I feel like that's that, and I shouldn't talk about that here. But yeah. So yeah. Actually, I talked about it in 2. I talked about it in 1. So yeah, it is a fake. I will talk more depths. But it is annoying that they do it. But I do at least like this one. And I do think this is an improvement to Aliens. It is so fun and it's so interesting. So yeah, I hope you liked. I hope you enjoyed this video. So yeah, that's it. Good night.